Hello and congratulations to you all.
Hello. Linda, come in.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. So, based on a true story, what was your favorite moment of filming this incredible trip?
Wow, that's such a hard question. My favorite moment of shooting it.
That's a wrap.
When we found out that they were actually going to give you money to make the film.
The one that's most memorable to me, honestly, is when we were shooting the glasses in the trash scene, because we had the two workers who were drinking out of the lemonade glasses. They hadn't read the script. They just read their scenes, and they got hired. And when we were doing it, and they see that Viggo Mortensen is taking those glasses and dropping them in the trash, they were like, what the hell kind of movie is this? And they literally pulled me aside and said, why, isn't he the hero? I said, yeah. They said, why would he do that? I said, okay, and I sat them down, and we took like 15 minutes, and I told them the whole story, and I said, this is where he's starting from and where he's going to. But it really stuck out at me as these guys were ready to walk off the set if I didn't have a good answer to that question. So that was my most memorable scene. Anybody else?
This one means a lot to you all and your families, and I'm just curious to know what message you may have for the members of Dr. Shirley's family who disapproved of the film.
I'll take that one.
Yeah.
Falling on the sword here. You know what? I'm a little troubled that answering that question could cause them any more distress. So what I'd like to say, in lieu of anything directly to the Shirley family, is what it meant to me, because I have been a part of 4 films from this era. And it was the first time that I saw a person of color with agency. And I thought, well, this is the guy I want to know. And this is a guy whose story needs to be out there for the young people who are, you know, still in the resistance. So for me, it was about the idea that there were people like Don Shirley in the 60s, and we never saw that on film. So that's what I took from it. That's what I still take from it. And I thank Pete and Nick and Mahershala and Viggo and all of the filmmakers for putting their hearts into it. So that's what I would say to the Shirley family. He meant a lot to a lot of people, and I'm glad that we got to share that story.
While you're still up there, how did you get involved in this, and at which moments did you speak up about tone or about the plot or about the acting or you know, what you had hoped this movie would accomplish? And congratulations, it sure did.
Thank you. Well, where is Jonathan King? There he is. Jonathan King and I did The Help together. And for those of you who don't realize how much all the conversations about diversity, the effects that they're having in rooms all across, you know, this industry, Jonathan King looked around the table and said, you know, we don't have anybody from the South. We don't have a perspective that is as unique as yours. Would you mind reading the script and seeing if you want it to be involved? So I applaud him for having that type of vision. I applaud Pete for welcoming me into the fold. And you know, when I read the script, I'm going to be really honest with you. I said to Jonathan, I don't really know how I could help you, because I think you have 2 very strong leads, and if they're weighing in on this, because it felt really good to me when I read it, I don't know how I could possibly help you. And then Pete and I had a lot of conversations about a lot of different things, and I felt that I could be a sounding board for him. And you know, I love this film. I love the script, and it starts on the page. So I think they did an amazing job, and I'm really thrilled to be here tonight.
If I could also jump on that, also, you know, she was in the editing room right out of the gate. We had about 20 minutes cut together, and I wanted her to see it tonally, prove it, and tell me we were on the right path. And she came in, and it was just, that was the day I knew we were going in the right direction. But we never really clashed because we were in sync the whole time. But she gave me a lot of confidence by being there in that room with me and helping me early on. So.
Okay. Hi, this question actually, again, sorry to do this to you, for Octavia Spencer, to your right, Kelly Carter, over here, back here. Hey. Hi. Hi, Kelly Carter. I'm with you as Undefeated. I know, I'm so sorry, I apologize.
No worries.
But I think that one of the most powerful things about this film for me was at the end, seeing your name in the credits as a producer.
Oh, thank you.
And I thought that was, I love kind of seeing, you know, Oscar winner Octavia Spencer get behind the camera. Wanted to know what types of projects are calling to you that you want to get behind. I know that you're working on stuff with LeBron James, of course, but
Yeah.
what type, and if you want to talk about that, that'd be great, but what types of projects are kind of inspiring you to kind of go behind the camera and get made?
Well, I think the projects that are inspiring me are the ones that we've yet to see. I'm really excited about some of the things that are coming my way. But again, like this, I felt this is so weird, me talking about myself, and this is about Green Book. You know what? Can I just let you guys, like, talk to them? Like, this is an amazing moment, and I'm so proud right now. I'm just so proud, and can we talk later? I'll come down and I'll talk to you later, but I want these guys to talk about their movie.
This one's for Vigo. The character you play is somebody that still can exist today and might relate to him and be able to have his heart and his mind changed. What does it mean to you to be able to reach people who still think sort of in that retro way and maybe make a difference in the way that they behave going forward?
Everything changes. Nothing is ever the same. So I wouldn't say that there's a guy just like him now, necessarily. But I do agree that, you know, I was just saying earlier in the other room that discrimination will never go away. And then so, well, that's a bummer to say that or to even think that. But what I'm saying is that it's the job of every generation to learn, hopefully, to be less ignorant, to beat ignorance with experience. You can look at that as depressing, or you can look at it as a challenge. I think it's a positive thing. I think it's just like physically. You have to work on yourself mentally, you know, also psychologically, also socially. Every generation, I mean, the language of racism, of prejudice, of discrimination, it evolves. People's behavior evolves. They harbor thoughts, you know, that are similar to other times, I agree. But it's something you got to work on. And so when people say, well, society right now is very, there's a lot of antagonism, there's a lot of just everybody's in their corners and nobody's listening, everybody's yelling. And so this is a perfect time for a movie like this. Yeah, it's a perfect time for a movie like this. But any time, any generation, when a movie's this well made, this entertaining, but also about profound issues, timeless issues, unfortunately or fortunately, however you want to look at it, it's always going to be a good time for a movie like Green Book, you know?
Octavia.
She's
Are we headed
gonna
back?
go answer that.
Oh, no, I know where she's going.